You are dying. Ever since your first breath, you've inched closer to death. You are dying. But you are also living. I think that's a given since you're sitting there listening. The existence of both me and you is dependent on these opposites both being true. I guess that the point I'm trying to give is that here at this moment, you are literally dying to live. Have you ever thought about that? We use that expression so often, like, I'm dying to see that movie. Oh, I'm dying to go and watch it. I used to think that saying I'm dying to do that or this was quite a bit dramatic, but now I'm taken back a bit because it's actually pretty accurate. You are dying to do anything. But with Jesus, just to give us some insight, he wasn't dying to live life. No, unlike you and me, he was dying to give life. For him, an expedition was planned since birth as a rescue mission to advance through earth on the only journey that could possibly banish a curse, because he knew we were drifting, wandering astray, the creation he loves most slipping farther away. And sure, the journey would have been more lenient if the destination was more convenient, but according to his Father's will, the only choice was to reach a hill. And lucky for us, he was dying to be obedient. So he carried a cross. He carried a cross like he was married to a cross, promising, I'll carry you in sickness and in health until death do us part, trudging his way up so steep, his heart in a flutter as he breathes. The only thought in his mind is how much he loves you, as the guard struck his knees till he stumbles into the mud at his feet. His back and legs ripped to shreds, blood covers his cheeks, a few-hour beating looking more like he'd been bludgeoned for weeks, but never regretting for a moment this cup he would drink. Beaten and flogged till he was unrecognizable, all to redeem a humanity that was irreconcilable. The guards mocking, laughing, with a smirk as they're asking, come on, call your God, can't he set you free? He responds, but every gasp of air he takes is reduced to a wheeze. Push forward. Don't quit, Lord. They know not what they do. Let them mock, let them ridicule. Crush me now, make me minuscule, my God. I'll do anything to help them see you. Frail, nearing death, tired, restless, mangled and tossed, nails piercing flesh of his right and his left wrist, he was stapled to a cross. And as he hung from that tree, the crowds looking on, what they saw was a fragment of the man that he was. And then up at the summit of the hill that he climbed, he mustered up the strength in his lungs as he cried, my God, why have you forsaken me? As all holiness flees from sight and the sin of mankind fills in the vacancy. What once was perfect is now blemished, all to make those who are worthless now sinless. The curse of every man transferred on to a slaughtered lamb as he utters the very words of his final sentence. It is finished. Let me tell you what Easter looks like. It doesn't look like chocolate eggs and pastels. It looks like 2 wooden planks and 3 nails. Easter, it looks like a man with outstretched hands saying, this is the distance I'll go just to reach you. We spend our whole lives thirsting to find life, only to realize we've been searching with blind eyes. We try to acquire it as we seek for the next high, whether it's by getting retweets or Facebook likes, or with perishing things like money or the next car that drives by, tragically deceived by a disguise like the car in a drive-by. Completely caught off guard, deceitfully caught by a fraud. Our attempt for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is like we're reaching for a falsified God. Listen, you are dying while there is a war you are fighting, an adversary whose objective is to make you the one on whom you are relying. The sole purpose of the cross was to tell you, stop trying. Ever since your first breath, you were dying to live. And with his last breath, he was dying to give you perspective that the only one you were built to rely on is him. This cross, it has no meaning unless you live out the message his life tells. That true life is only found if you die to yourself. So the question is, are you dying?